What if I told you that one of the smartest creatures on Earth doesn't have a backbone? What if the most incredible escape artist in the animal kingdom has 8 arms, 3 hearts, blue blood, and a brain unlike any other? How can an animal with no bones squeeze through an opening smaller than its own eye? Why does it seem to disappear right in front of predators, even when there's nowhere to hide? Can an octopus solve puzzles that confuse many other animals? Why does it collect objects that serve no immediate purpose? How can it remember places it has visited months before? Can it recognize individual humans? Why do scientists still debate just how intelligent it truly is? What if intelligence didn't evolve only in mammals? What if one of the closest examples of an alien mind has been living in Earth's oceans for hundreds of millions of years? The octopus is not a fish. It is not a mammal. It is not a reptile. It belongs to an ancient group of animals called cephalopods, a name that means head-foot. Its arms are attached directly to its head, creating a body unlike almost anything else on our planet. Its blood is not red, it is blue. Instead of iron, its blood contains hemocyanin, a copper-based molecule that carries oxygen efficiently in the cold, oxygen-poor depths of the ocean. And that's only the beginning. An octopus has 3 hearts. 2 hearts pump blood through the gills, while the third sends oxygen-rich blood throughout the rest of its body. But here's something even stranger. When an octopus swims, that third heart temporarily stops beating. Swimming becomes so exhausting that many octopuses actually prefer crawling across the seafloor instead. Its body contains no bones, no skeleton, no protective shell, nothing but soft, flexible muscle. Yet that weakness became one of its greatest strengths. If its beak, the only hard part of its body, can fit through an opening, the rest of the animal can follow. It can slip into tiny cracks, hide inside bottles, disappear into coral reefs, or escape from aquariums that humans believed were impossible to escape. Its skin is even more astonishing. Within a fraction of a second, millions of specialized pigment cells, called chromatophores, expand and contract, allowing the octopus to change color almost instantly. Beneath them lie iridophores, which reflect light to create shimmering blues, greens, and metallic colors. Even deeper are leucophores, cells that scatter surrounding light to match almost any environment. Together, these layers transform the octopus into a living optical illusion. But it doesn't stop with color. Tiny muscles across its skin create raised bumps and ridges called papillae, allowing it to imitate rocks, coral, seaweed, or rough ocean floors with astonishing accuracy. Sometimes predators swim just centimeters away, without realizing their prey is directly in front of them. Each of the octopus's 8 arms contains hundreds of powerful suckers. Yet those suckers do far more than simply grip surfaces. They can taste, they can smell, they can explore textures. Each arm constantly gathers information about the world. Even more astonishing, nearly 2/3 of the octopus's neurons are located in its arms rather than its central brain. This means each arm can solve simple problems and perform complex movements almost independently. Scientists often describe it as a form of distributed intelligence, a nervous system unlike anything found in humans. Some researchers even compare it to a network of small brains working together. An octopus can unscrew jars, open locked containers, navigate intricate mazes, recognize patterns, learn from experience, and remember successful solutions long after the challenge has ended. Some have been observed carrying coconut shells across the seafloor, assembling them into portable shelters later. This remarkable behavior is considered one of the clearest examples of tool use among marine invertebrates. Perhaps the most fascinating mystery of all is this: the ancestors of modern octopuses appeared more than 300 million years ago, long before dinosaurs ever walked the Earth. Through mass extinctions, changing oceans, and catastrophic climate shifts, they survived. But despite centuries of research, scientists continue discovering astonishing new abilities almost every year. The deeper we explore the oceans, the more mysterious the octopus becomes. Today, we journey into the hidden world of one of Earth's most extraordinary animals, a creature that seems to rewrite everything we thought we knew about intelligence, evolution, survival, and life beneath the sea. Long before the first dinosaur took its first step, long before birds filled the skies, long before mammals ruled the land, the ancestors of the octopus were already drifting through Earth's ancient oceans. Their story begins more than 500 million years ago during a period scientists call the Cambrian explosion. This was one of the most extraordinary moments in the history of life. Within a relatively short geological period, the oceans became filled with strange new creatures unlike anything seen before. Many had shells, others developed armor, some evolved powerful jaws. Among these early marine animals appeared the ancestors of a remarkable group known as the cephalopods. Unlike most animals of their time, these creatures did not rely solely on heavy protection. Instead, they evolved something far more valuable: movement, control, intelligence. The earliest cephalopods possessed long, cone-shaped shells that protected their soft bodies from predators. These shells acted almost like underwater fortresses, but they also came with a serious disadvantage. They were heavy, slow, difficult to maneuver. Over millions of years, evolution began favoring individuals that could move faster and hunt more efficiently. Some species developed lighter shells, others reduced them dramatically. Eventually, one extraordinary evolutionary path removed the shell almost entirely. To many animals, losing a protective shell would have meant certain extinction. For the ancestors of the octopus, however, it became the beginning of a completely different strategy for survival. Instead of hiding behind armor, they became the masters of disguise. Instead of resisting danger, they learned how to avoid it completely. Their bodies became soft and incredibly flexible. Their muscles grew stronger. Their nervous system became more advanced. Their eyes evolved into some of the most sophisticated vision systems in the animal kingdom. As ancient oceans changed, countless species disappeared forever. Mass extinctions devastated marine ecosystems. Volcanic eruptions transformed the planet. Sea levels rose and fell. Entire food chains collapsed. Yet the ancestors of today's octopus survived every major extinction event that wiped out millions of other species. Even the catastrophe that ended the age of the dinosaurs around 66 million years ago did not erase them. While giant reptiles vanished, the octopus continued adapting beneath the waves. Generation after generation, it became faster, smarter, more curious. Unlike sharks, crocodiles, or turtles, the octopus did not survive because its body remained unchanged. It survived because it never stopped changing. Every challenge forced it to become more intelligent. Every new predator demanded a better escape strategy. Every environmental change rewarded flexibility instead of strength. This may explain why modern octopuses possess abilities that still surprise scientists today. They are not simply survivors of ancient oceans. They are living evidence that intelligence itself can become one of nature's greatest survival tools. And perhaps the most astonishing fact is this: even after centuries of scientific research, we still do not fully understand how an octopus thinks. The deeper scientists explore its world, the more mysteries they discover. Imagine waking up with 3 hearts. Imagine your blood flowing through your body not in shades of red, but deep blue. Imagine being able to taste everything you touch with your hands. It sounds like science fiction, yet for an octopus, this is simply everyday life. The body of an octopus is unlike that of almost any other animal on Earth. Every organ, every muscle, every movement, every part of its nervous system seems to challenge what we think an intelligent creature should look like. Unlike fish, an octopus has no scales. Unlike mammals, it has no bones. Unlike crabs or lobsters, it has no hard outer shell. Its entire body is soft muscle, making it one of the most flexible large animals in the ocean. Only one structure remains hard: its beak. Hidden where all 8 arms meet, the beak is made of keratin, the same material found in human fingernails and bird beaks. It is razor sharp and powerful enough to crack the shells of crabs, clams, and other armored prey. This single hard structure also determines where an octopus can go. If the beak fits, everything else can follow. That is why octopuses can escape through impossibly small openings. Aquariums around the world have recorded octopuses squeezing through tiny drain pipes, slipping beneath doors, and escaping tanks that appeared completely secure. To a predator, it can seem almost supernatural. One moment, the octopus is trapped. The next, it is gone. Then there are the hearts. Most animals have one. The octopus has 3. 2 hearts pump blood to the gills, where oxygen is absorbed from the water. The 3rd heart sends that oxygen-rich blood throughout the body. But this extraordinary system comes with an unexpected drawback. When an octopus swims using jet propulsion, the heart responsible for supplying the body temporarily slows or even stops pumping efficiently. This makes swimming extremely exhausting. As a result, octopuses prefer crawling across the seafloor using their arms whenever possible. It is slower, but far more energy efficient. Perhaps even stranger is the color of its blood. Human blood is red because it contains hemoglobin, an iron-rich protein that carries oxygen. Octopus blood relies on an entirely different molecule, hemocyanin. Instead of iron, hemocyanin contains copper. When oxygen binds to copper, the blood appears blue. This adaptation allows octopuses to survive in cold, deep, oxygen-poor waters, where many other animals would struggle. Their circulatory system is perfectly designed for life beneath the waves. But the true masterpiece of the octopus is not its blood, it is its nervous system. The average octopus possesses around 500 million neurons, a number comparable to many mammals. Yet these neurons are not concentrated inside a single brain. Nearly 2/3 are distributed throughout its 8 arms. Each arm contains large bundles of nerve cells capable of processing information independently. In other words, each arm can make simple decisions on its own. An arm can search beneath rocks, explore narrow crevices, adjust its grip, manipulate objects, and react to changing conditions without waiting for instructions from the central brain. Scientists describe this as distributed intelligence, rather than functioning like one central computer. The octopus behaves more like a network of powerful processors, constantly communicating with one another. This unique design allows incredible speed and flexibility. If one arm encounters danger, the others continue working. If prey suddenly changes direction, several arms instantly adapt. Every movement appears smooth, effortless, and almost impossible to predict. Each arm is lined with hundreds of muscular suckers. These suckers do far more than simply hold objects. They can detect chemicals dissolved in seawater. They recognize textures. They sense pressure. They even allow the octopus to taste what it touches. For an octopus, touch and taste are deeply connected. Its world is experienced not only through sight, but through every movement of its arms. And then there are its eyes. Unlike the eyes of insects or many marine animals, octopus eyes evolved in a remarkably similar way. to human eyes. They have a lens, a retina, an iris, and exceptionally sharp vision. This is one of evolution's most fascinating examples of convergent evolution, where completely unrelated animals independently develop similar solutions to the same problem. Humans and octopuses share no recent common ancestor with complex eyes. Yet evolution arrived at almost the same design twice. It is one of biology's greatest coincidences, or perhaps one of its greatest successes. Everything about the octopus seems to follow different rules. Its body breaks expectations. Its blood challenges biology. Imagine looking directly at an animal, watching it with your own eyes, and then, within a single second, it simply disappears, not by swimming away, not by hiding behind a rock, but by becoming the rock itself. For centuries, sailors believed octopuses possessed magical powers. Some claimed they could vanish into thin air. Others believed they could transform into entirely different creatures. Today, science has revealed the truth, and somehow, the reality is even more astonishing than the myths. The octopus is considered one of the greatest masters of camouflage ever produced by evolution. Its skin is not simply colored, it is a living, constantly changing display, capable of transforming almost instantly. The first layer of this incredible system is made of tiny pigment sacs, known as chromatophores. Each chromatophore contains yellow, red, brown, or black pigments. Tiny muscles surrounding these sacs expand or contract them in a fraction of a second. When thousands of chromatophores work together, the octopus can dramatically change its appearance almost instantly. But color is only one part of the illusion. Beneath the chromatophores are reflective cells called iridophores. Rather than producing color through pigments, these cells manipulate light itself. They reflect blues, greens, silvers, and shimmering metallic shades depending on the angle of the light. Even deeper lie leucophores. These remarkable cells scatter surrounding light, allowing the octopus to blend naturally with almost any environment. Together, these three layers function like an advanced biological display screen. Millions of tiny cells communicate simultaneously. Within moments, the octopus becomes sand, coral, seaweed, broken rock, or even another animal. Yet perhaps the most unbelievable part is not the color. It is the texture. Across its skin are thousands of tiny muscular structures known as papillae. When relaxed, the skin appears smooth, but within seconds, these muscles can create sharp spikes, rough bumps, wrinkled folds, or jagged ridges. A smooth octopus resting on the ocean floor can suddenly resemble rough volcanic rock. Moments later, it may look like soft coral waving in the current, or a patch of seaweed drifting with the tide. Its disguise is not merely visual, it becomes three-dimensional. Scientists often call this one of the greatest examples of dynamic camouflage in nature. But camouflage is only half of the story. Some octopus species go even further. They imitate other animals. The most famous example is the mimic octopus, discovered relatively recently in the waters of Indonesia. This extraordinary species shocked marine biologists. Instead of simply blending into its surroundings, it performs. By changing the position of its arms, body shape, movement, and coloration, it can imitate venomous sea snakes, lionfish, flatfish, jellyfish, and several other dangerous marine animals. When threatened by predators, it chooses which animal to imitate depending on the danger it faces. If attacked by one predator, it may transform into a sea snake. If confronted by another, it becomes a poisonous lionfish. Few animals on Earth possess such remarkable behavioral flexibility. It is deception perfected through evolution. Even more astonishing, an octopus can decide in real time which disguise offers the highest chance of survival. It is constantly analyzing its environment, reading shapes, light, movement, shadows, Every decision happens within seconds, and perhaps the strangest mystery is this: scientists still do not fully understand how octopuses control millions of skin cells so quickly. Their brains send commands across an enormous network of nerves, yet the precision seems almost impossible. Some researchers believe the skin itself performs part of the processing. Others suspect there are still unknown mechanisms hidden within the octopus nervous system. The more scientists study camouflage, the more questions emerge. Because the octopus is not simply hiding, it is communicating, hunting, escaping, and sometimes it is creating an illusion so perfect that even the human eye cannot detect the difference. But camouflage is not always enough. When a predator gets too close, when escape routes disappear, when survival hangs by a single moment, the octopus reveals one final weapon, a weapon that turns darkness itself into an opportunity to disappear. For most animals, being cornered means the fight has already begun. For an octopus, it often means the escape is just beginning. Unlike predators that rely on claws, or prey that depend on speed, the octopus survives through deception. Every escape is carefully timed. Every movement is calculated. Every second matters. When danger approaches, the octopus first remains perfectly still. It watches, it studies, it waits. Its highly developed eyes constantly measure distance, movement, and direction. Instead of reacting with panic, it searches for the safest opportunity. Only when the exact moment arrives, it strikes. One of its most famous defenses is ink. But octopus ink is far more than a cloud of black liquid. It is a sophisticated biological weapon. The ink is produced inside a special organ known as the ink sac, located near the digestive system. When threatened, powerful muscles force the ink through the siphon, releasing it into the surrounding water. Within seconds, the predator's vision becomes clouded. Its sense of smell becomes confused. Its attack loses direction. Scientists believe the ink contains melanin, the same natural pigment responsible for the color of human skin and hair. But the ink also carries mucus. Together they create a thick, drifting cloud that lingers long enough to give the octopus precious seconds to escape. Sometimes, however, the octopus performs something even more remarkable. Instead of releasing a simple cloud, it creates what researchers call a pseudomorph. A pseudomorph is a dense, blob-like mass of ink that briefly resembles the size and shape of the octopus itself. Predators often attack the fake target, while the real octopus silently disappears in the opposite direction. It is one of nature's most convincing decoys. Then comes the escape itself. Most people imagine octopuses swimming gracefully across the ocean. In reality, they possess one of the fastest emergency escape systems found in marine life. Water is rapidly drawn into the mantle cavity. Powerful muscles suddenly contract. The water is forced through a narrow tube called the siphon. This creates powerful jet propulsion, launching the octopus backward at surprising speed. For a few critical seconds, it becomes a living underwater rocket. Although this method consumes enormous amounts of energy, it often makes the difference between life and death. Yet speed alone cannot explain how octopuses escape so often. Their greatest advantage is their ability to think. Researchers have repeatedly observed octopuses changing escape strategies depending on the predator they face. Against fish, they may rely on camouflage. Against sharks, they often release ink before fleeing. Against moray eels hiding inside rocks, they may carefully retreat rather than swim. This ability to select different solutions instead of repeating the same behavior is considered one of the strongest signs of advanced intelligence. Even inside aquariums, octopuses have become legendary. Some learned how to remove lids from containers. Others escaped through tiny drainage pipes. A few were caught leaving one tank at night, crossing the floor, entering another aquarium to hunt fish, then returning to their own tank before morning. For years, aquarium staff believed fish were mysteriously disappearing. Security cameras eventually revealed the surprising culprit. Stories like these sound almost unbelievable. Yet many have been carefully documented by marine researchers. Perhaps the most famous octopus, nicknamed Inky, escaped from a public aquarium by squeezing through a small opening, reaching a drainage pipe and making his way back to the ocean. No one taught him the route, no one showed him the exit, he figured it out himself. That single escape became one of the world's greatest examples of animal problem solving. But there is another mystery. Unlike humans, unlike elephants, unlike whales, the octopus lives for only a short time. Many species survive just 1 to 3 years. Some of the largest species rarely live beyond 5 years. How could evolution create one of the most intelligent animals on Earth, only to give it such a brief life? The answer lies in one of the strangest life cycles in the animal kingdom, and it is far more heartbreaking than most people realize. Imagine possessing one of the most intelligent brains in the ocean, only to live for a few short years. It seems almost unfair. While some sharks can survive for centuries, sea turtles for more than 100 years, and certain whales for over 200, most octopuses will never celebrate a 5th birthday. Many never even reach their 3rd. Why? Why would evolution create such an extraordinary animal, only to give it so little time? For decades, this question has fascinated marine biologists. The answer begins with reproduction. Unlike many animals that reproduce again and again throughout their lives, most octopus species reproduce only once. Scientists call this strategy semelparity. It means an animal invests everything into a single reproductive event. There are no second chances, no second generation, only one opportunity. When a male octopus reaches maturity, he begins searching for a female. This journey is dangerous. Predators are everywhere. Competition is fierce, and finding a mate may take weeks or even months. Unlike humans or many mammals, octopuses do not form lifelong pairs. Their meeting is brief, careful, sometimes even tense, because a hungry female may mistake a smaller male for food. To avoid this deadly risk, males often approach slowly, keeping their distance. Instead of using one of his arms for hunting, the male possesses a specialized reproductive arm called the hectocotylus. This remarkable arm transfers packets of sperm, known as spermatophores, directly into the female's mantle cavity. Once mating is complete, their paths separate forever. For many males, this marks the final chapter of life. Within weeks, sometimes only days, their bodies begin to weaken. They stop hunting, their colors fade, their movements become slower. Eventually, they die. But the female's story is even more extraordinary. After fertilization, she searches tirelessly for the safest possible place to lay her eggs. A narrow cave, a hidden crack, a protected rocky shelter. Depending on the species, she may lay anywhere from a few dozen eggs to well over 100,000. From that moment forward, everything changes. She stops living for herself. Every remaining second of her life belongs to her unborn offspring. She carefully attaches each egg to the ceiling of the den. Then she begins an endless routine, cleaning, protecting, watching, hour after hour, day after day, week after week. She gently fans the eggs with her arms, allowing fresh, oxygen-rich water to flow across their delicate surfaces. Without this constant care, the eggs would quickly become covered in algae, bacteria, or harmful fungi. Most would never hatch. What makes this sacrifice even more astonishing is what she refuses to do. She does not leave to hunt. She does not search for food. She barely moves at all. Instead, she slowly starves. Scientists have documented mothers guarding their eggs continuously for more than 4 years in deep-sea species. The Granellodon boreopacifica holds the longest known brooding period of any animal on Earth, about 53 months. Throughout all that time, the mother eats almost nothing. She grows thinner, weaker, exhausted, yet she never abandons her eggs. Only after the young finally hatch does her journey come to an end. She dies, not because predators defeat her, not because disease claims her, but because evolution has programmed her body to make one final sacrifice. Researchers discovered that this process is controlled by a tiny organ called the optic gland. After reproduction, this gland releases powerful hormones that dramatically alter the octopus's body. It suppresses appetite, changes metabolism, accelerates aging, and ultimately leads to death. It is as though an invisible biological clock begins counting down the final days. To humans, this life cycle may seem heartbreaking, yet without it, the next generation would never survive. The mother gives everything she has until there is nothing left to give. In the silent darkness of the ocean, few acts of parental devotion are as complete or as tragic as that of an octopus mother. And yet, even after such an extraordinary beginning, the young octopus enters one of the most dangerous worlds on Earth. Because from the very first second of life, almost everything in the ocean wants to eat it. The octopus has no bones, no armor, and no enormous size to protect it. Yet through intelligence, adaptation, and millions of years of evolution, it became one of the ocean's greatest survivors. Perhaps true power isn't always about strength. Sometimes it's about the ability to think differently. If you enjoyed exploring the incredible world of the octopus, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more breathtaking wildlife documentaries. Until next time, stay curious.